Hey guys, let's talk about seasonal depression. How's this angle? Do I look really small? Gosh, okay, that face and neck are two different tones. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about seasonal depression and some things that might mitigate it. Now remember, I am not a mental health expert. I don't have a PhD or an LCSW or whatever. I am, however, an enthusiast and someone my throat.
Keys to the city. After you.
Balto.
Big Paw's kind of running my family.
So remember, on this channel, we mind our business. And this video isn't sponsored, but I recently came across a brand that I thought was super cool and I kind of wanted to highlight. So this is Kill Crew. They're basically all about mental health and I don't know, I don't want to get suppressed on YouTube, but you know, murdering or killing, oh God, I can't say that. They're all about defeating your mental health struggles, whether that be addiction, OCD, anxiety, depression, whatever. They're all about making sure we can come together as a community, and maybe through like working out or just taking care of yourself, you're going to be better able to like mitigate or defeat some of the symptoms that you might be experiencing. Also, I will mention that Kill Crew, everything they produce is made in the US, so they have, you know, fair labor laws, fair business practices, and they're a small team, and it really just seems like they take care of their own. Seasonal depression, or SAD, affects millions of people, including about 10 million Americans, or roughly 3% of the general population. Now, if you already have major depressive disorder, or major depressive disorder, that means SAD affects you like 10 to 20% of us. Or if you have bipolar disorder, SAD affects about 25%. Okay, I'm gonna re-say that. Seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, affects like millions of people, so it's definitely not some obscure, like minuscule thing. Like if you notice that you feel maybe sadder around the colder months, then you know you might be experiencing SAD or seasonal affective disorder. In the general population, it affects up to 3% of people. For people with major depressive disorder, it affects like 10 to 20% of people. And for people with bipolar disorder, it affects about 25% of people. It typically arrives from mid to late fall, and it kind of like dissipates in early spring. And it's way more common among people who live along the equator. And it's also more common in women than in men. Women are about 4 times more likely to be diagnosed with SAD than men are. Some symptoms of SAD include trouble sleeping, loss of interest in eating, so potentially some weight loss, feeling restless, agitated, or anxious, and also, in extreme cases, potential violent behavior, which totally makes sense because I completely spiraled last night and thought about, you know what, let's not incriminate ourselves here. Anyway, this video is less about SAD awareness and more about things you can do to maybe help lift your mood or lift your spirits during these colder, like winter months. Let's start off with like the obvious. As I mentioned, Kill Crew is all about like defeating anything that ails you. And a great way to do that is through exercise. Now, I've already made a video talking about how exercise is a great way to like increase your aura and you know, just make you an all-around, well-rounded, better human. Like you could get into Muay Thai, you could get into running, you could get into lifting, and basically it just kind of helps you because you're like expanding your social circle and you're, you know, taking care of your body. And the body is a well-oiled meat bag machine. So that means that the more you take care of it, the more you nurture it, the better it will treat you as well. And of course, taking care of your body, that extends to, you know, making sure you're fueling it and eating the right foods. Now, of course, it can be so tempting to kind of cuddle up and you know, not really talk to your friends, maybe put on a movie, maybe bed rot a little bit, you know, maybe watch Pride and Prejudice for a few hours, like, you know, the BBC marathon, just like watch it over and over and over again and eat. But, you know, that, I mean, you get a day of doing that. You get a day of bed rotting and Pride and Prejudice. The rest of the time, it's really important to nurture your social circles and, you know, support your community, support one another, because that's, you know, that's why we're all here. Oh God, it feels like I'm getting like a slight rasp in the throat. Gotta love fall. Now, of course, say it with me. We can't fight capitalism with capitalism. We fight capitalism with community. We fight capitalism with socialism. We fight capitalism with love. At the same time, it's important to be mindful and, you know, vote with our dollars and support companies that at least try or at least claim to want to do some good in the world. Okay, so other things you can do during the fall to maybe impact your mood. I mean, of course, there are things you can do by yourself, which are making sure not to isolate yourself, making sure to keep your body healthy, to move around, you know, pick up a hobby, pick up something that'll like keep you moving as the weather gets colder. Of course, and this goes without saying, if you have a mental health practitioner, you should speak to that person. Let them know like what you're going through. If you're medicated, speak with a psychiatrist or your prescriber, someone who can help give you the right tools to help you manage what's going on. Now, for a really long time, I was, let's just say it, like anti-medication, because I felt, and in ways I still think I'm right, that people overprescribe certain medications rather than, maybe I should say that I was anti-big pharma rather than anti-medication, just because I've known so many people and that have like basically had pills pushed on them rather than had someone really sit down and talk to them to figure out what's going on. And it seems like a lot of people in the United States especially treat prescription medication, well, rather prescription mental health medication, as some sort of panacea or some sort of immediate cure-all. Like, oh, I just need to get maybe 20 milligrams of Wellbutrin or like 5 milligrams of Lexapro or whatever, and then boom, immediately everything is going to be fine. And, you know, no, you still need to do the work. You still need to work out. You still need to cultivate a community. You still need to make lifestyle changes that are beneficial for, you know, your overall well-being. You can't just like pop a pill and make everything be better. At the same time, a lot of us, especially those of us with trauma, could benefit from like extra help, or maybe in a way I think of it as performance enhancing drugs. Like, it was really difficult for me to treat my depression and anxiety and like maybe potential bipolar 2 disorder with just like lifestyle changes, especially because I do have like a kind of high stress job, and like I guess I tend to attract maybe people who need a lot of attention, and they tend to create a lot of stress and drama. That's again a personal thing. But what I'm trying to say is that I wasn't eating and I wasn't sleeping. So the prescription that my prescriber basically gave me helped me do those things. Like at my lowest, I don't want to say it because I feel like I might accidentally trigger someone's ED and I don't want to do that. But I got to like a very scary low weight just because I wasn't like I wasn't able to take care of myself, you know, being like kind of in a catatonic state. You know, trying to self-medicate with whatever I could, like weed or CBD or whatever. It just, you know, it just wasn't working. So, yeah, basically, I think, in my personal opinion, and remember, I am an enthusiast, not an expert. Oh, Jesus. What the fuck was I saying? So in my personal opinion, after you've tried to do all of the work, after you've tried to, you know, work out, exercise, change your social circle, change your dynamics, you know, the things that are in your control, if you've done all the things and you're still having difficulty managing your symptoms, then definitely it is time to speak to a professional about like getting the appropriate help. Like, again, me personally, I would start with a psychologist, a therapist, maybe before going to a psychiatrist. Basically see if maybe talk therapy can mitigate some of the issues you're experiencing, and if not, then maybe talk therapy in conjunction with psychiatry can help. Something else that's not really spoken about enough, there are alternative treatments like psilocybin for major depressive disorder, ketamine therapy for major depressive disorder. I've also, before finally caving and taking a prescription medication, I've done basically 2 rounds of foundational ketamine therapy. I did it once in the beginning of 2020, and I did it once in the beginning of 2024. So in my experience, again, I would say that the ketamine therapy, especially if you're in a really, really deep rut, just jolts you out of that. And it's really able to give you a more complete understanding of the world in some way. It just really helps you reframe things. It's it makes you confront things that you can't run from. And I've never done a psilocybin journey with either a medical practitioner or a seasoned guide. However, just with my experience with mushrooms, I do think, again, if you're in the right headspace, or if you're in a safe and healthy place, then, a mushroom trip could really just help you, again, similar to ketamine, help you see the world in another way, help you just have a more positive outlook. So yeah, that's my spiel. That's what we're doing this fall. We are on a nice little financial diet to keep our savings in check, and we are taking care of our mental health.